There are several media tools that can be used in a presentation. Posters and PowerPoints are the two most popular options today. Whatever option you are using, there are some basic guidelines you should always keep in mind. These presentations are used as a visual aid. They help the presenter connect to the audience with a pleasing middle ground. It gives the presenter an opportunity to create interesting and creative options to keep their audience both interested and engaged. Your presentation should follow the same basic guidelines as your paper, but simplified. You have a title, body, conclusion, and references. You want to choose a title that will capture the audience's interest. Use large text for your title and capitalize the words the same as you would when writing a sentence. From a scientific perspective, it is also common to state your results in the title. Place your name under the title. People like to know who their speaker is. Further acknowledgments can be placed underneath or at the bottom of your poster or end of a PowerPoint. The same goes for logos. You can place them strategically at the top or the bottom. Depending on the presentation, there may or may not be an abstract or overview. Typically, there is an introduction to the material or background, a purpose or method section, and a results or findings conclusion section, along with graphs, figures, charts, or maybe even imagery to visualize that information. References must also be included for both information and visuals. This will be discussed in a later section. Creatively speaking, whether you are doing a PowerPoint or a large or small poster, layout and design will all follow similar guidelines. The purpose of a background is to make your presentation visually appealing. A white paper with some text slapped on it can get boring very fast. Even if your presentation calls for a simplistic view, try to add a little something to keep it from becoming too dull or uninteresting. There are several options in choosing a background when using PowerPoint. Optional designs can be found in the Design tab, along with a host of other options to customize those designs. One thing you can do is choose from your own file, photos, clipboard, or even clip art. And another option would be to find even more PowerPoint background options online. While there are some very simple, tasteful custom backgrounds, the options are really limitless. You can also custom design your own background with one of your own photos or someone else's work. To do this, go to Design, the background arrow, and choose from File, Clipboard, or Clip Art tab. Remember not to let your background become so overbearing that it competes with your text. When choosing a background style this way, one option would be to make the background slide transparent, as you can see here, so it enhances your slides without competing with the text. You are creating a visual aid for both you and your audience. Listing the main points will remind you of what you want to say, while at the same time allowing your audience an appealing visual to focus on what you're saying. Graphics help to do two things. They take the focus off of you, which is very helpful, especially if you're nervous, and two, they provide an image for the audience to identify with while listening to related material. This helps keep them engaged. Your text design is as important as your graphic design. Be consistent throughout your slides in size, text style, and color. This doesn't mean you can't mix it up, but be consistent with how you do. For example, unless it's relevant, all titles should be the same size, same color, same format. The information can be consistently different, but it's strongly advised not to mix it up too much, or it becomes visually confusing and challenging to read. Too much text and too many graphics will only confuse your audience. It'll make it difficult for them to focus, disrupt a natural flow, and can cause the audience to lose interest. If the visual becomes too scripted, the audience will become uncomfortable, attempting to both read and listen to you. Of course, Rules are made to be broken. Remember, however, if you're going to break the rules, you need to make it work. You see here an example of different texts, bold and hard on the eyes, outline color, the subtitle is larger to make a point, the background conflicts with the text slightly, but still readably, because it's meant to be intense due to the nature of the slide. The visual dominates the slide because it's meant to be coming in your face. Remember, while there may be occasions to break the rules, you need to be able to pull it off, and that's not always easy. In general, try to stick with the guidelines. They're tried and true, and they work. Make sure you utilize the grid lines located in the View tab to make sure everything lines up properly. Consider the visual appeal of your layout. Just as you worked hard on your paper, now you want to make sure that your presentation is approachable, and this involves layout. When it comes to layout, keep it simple. Allow the presentation to guide the reader for the most part. Consider your available space, your size, all options. Sometimes your layout may call for some creativity. You may have more information that will comfortably fit, or for some reason it just doesn't work well in a simple format. This is where you need to be creative. You can use arrows, maybe dotted lines. There are words that can say start here and or maybe end here. Just be cautious not to make your directions so busy that they compete visually with your presentation. As in playing chess, sometimes you need to think a few moves ahead to make something work out. Be sure to keep your layout in mind when creating your slides, and be prepared for the possibility of making adjustments in order to make your presentation work. Your poster is about visual appeal. You have two challenges here. You want to make it both visually interesting to look at and incorporate the relevant material, all combined with an easy on the eye, appealing format. Don't forget to give credit where credit is due. Unless it's your own work, all photos and images, all information must be cited. A more relaxed presentation may permit photos to be cited directly under the image without repeating it on the reference slide. This is useful when space is limited. However, it is customary to reference your images using the same proper format and along with your information sources on the same reference slide. All sources should be properly formatted the same as you would your paper. This slide is the one exception to the rule in that it will be text-filled and the type can be as small as necessary to fit. Whether you are doing a poster or a PowerPoint, all guidelines apply. The additional considerations with creating a poster will involve size. Size matters. If you're creating a poster, you can think about its creation on the same terms as a PowerPoint, with all the slides seen as blocks on the one poster image. It's about visual space and availability. The larger the poster size, the more options you'll have available. The smaller the poster, the more condensed the material needs to be. And now you're ready for the final step, creating the poster. The link for creating a poster may vary according to which summer term, but you can find it by going to the Mercy College LibGuides. Go to Mercy College McNair Scholars Summer and then add the year. Here you will find some guidelines as well as template options. The Design Your Own template is a blank template that not only gives you a nice clean slate to work with, but will offer the most flexibility in your creation. There are also several more structured templates you can choose from. While they are created as a PowerPoint slide template, these do not offer as much flexibility, and you will find yourself locked into those blocks. If you need or like structure, this can be a good thing. Begin by clicking on the necessary template. Click Enable Editing. The size of your poster will determine how you go about tackling the information. For a larger poster, you have more creative options. You will be able to fit more blocks comfortably than with a smaller poster. For a smaller poster, it will be best to consider your layout in its most simplistic and abbreviated terms. Please refer to the site's guidelines as well. They have included some important information on creating a poster. Whether you are doing a PowerPoint or a poster, it is about visual appeal. You have two challenges here. You want to make it visually interesting to look at while incorporating the relevant material, all combined in an easy, on-the-eye, appealing format. PowerPoints and posters provide a visual aid when presenting material. But there's more. The college now offers 3D imaging. You can create an image to enhance the appeal of your presentation.